Hey guys, let's take a break and look at the case against Deputy Scot Peterson. That's the guy who was at the Parkland school shooting who allegedly did not respond and instead stayed outside the school and didn't go in and confront the shooter. He's on trial right now for a lot of things. And I've heard, a lot of comments about it. Oh my God, he's terrible. Or, oh my God, they can't charge him with this. But as usual, I like to go to the documents and see, well, at least what is the actual lay of the land. So what we'll do quickly in this video, since this trial is ongoing, is look at what is he actually charged with. Now, on social media a lot, you'll see people say, you can't get in trouble for what somebody else does. And that's generally true, but it isn't always true. And it's the not always that hangs people. Look at Ethan Crumley's parents up in Michigan who were on trial for a culpable criminal negligence. The mother for what their son did at the school, the mother in Virginia who's working on pleading guilty because her son took a gun and went to school. So just because somebody else does something doesn't necessarily mean you're off the hook. It just usually does. So let's take a look at the probable cause situation here for Scot Peterson. And it comes into 4 categories. I think this boils up to 11 charges, but they're all under these categories. Neglect of a child under certain statutes, neglect of a child with a slightly different statute we'll go over, culpable negligence, and perjury when not in an official proceeding. Neglect of a child, as you can see, that's the important things, because actually these charge sets 3 and 4, culpable negligence and perjury, they're misdemeanors. So neglect of a child is defined in their statute as a caregiver's failure or omission to provide a child with the care, supervision, and services necessary to maintain the child's physical and mental health, including but not limited to food, nutrition, clothing, shelter, supervision, medicine, and medical services that a prudent person would consider essential for the well-being of the child, or a caregiver's failure to make a reasonable effort to protect a child from abuse, neglect, or exploitation by another person. So there's a piece of bad news. So that's the definition of neglect of a child. That's not the offense. That's just the definition. So let's look at what the offenses are. Okay, offenses. Let's see. He didn't commit the aggravated child abuse, so it's not A that he's charged under here. It's B. A person who willfully or by culpable negligence neglects a child and in doing so causes great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement. That person is committing a felony of the 2nd degree. So you got big proximate cause issues here. And I know there was a motion to dismiss. It probably was about this. We've talked about this in all these other cases with Brooks' mom, the Crumleys, Virginia, and all that. Proximate cause is complicated, but I'm sure it's an issue here because, was his negligence the proximate cause of these people being hurt? Okay. But anyway, that's what he's charged under there. The second paragraph goes into 2D, which is a person who willfully or by culpable negligence neglects a child without causing great bodily harm, etc. That's also a felony, but it's of the 3rd degree. So here you don't have to show that you caused the harm, just that you were culpably negligent. So that may be a stickier situation for him, although that's kind of a weird statute, I think. All right, let's drop down to number 3, culpable negligence. Whoever through culpable negligence exposes another person to personal injury commits a misdemeanor of the 2nd degree. And then finally, you have perjury when you're not in an official proceeding. And whoever makes a false statement which he or she does not believe to be true under oath will be guilty of a misdemeanor. So they're saying, I think that what they're saying here is he told him he only heard a few shots, but actually they're saying he had heard more shots and he just lied about it to excuse his own behavior. So these are the charges he's facing. Whether you agree that he should face them is a different issue. Whether you agree he's guilty of these things is also a separate issue. But it is good to know what the actual statutes are, I think, when you're analyzing or watching a criminal case, because that's what they're going to ask the jury to consider. Are these actual statutes, these things in here, not generic feelings about whether what he did was right or wrong or not, but did he engage in what amounts to criminal behavior? All right, well, if you're watching a trial, I'll let you back at it. That's it. Thanks. Bye.